Quinn, can you talk about getting forced on the field, learning curve, and what point it started to become easier for you to play?
I think I think it progressively gets easier, and it continues with the reps you get. And I'm still learning things today, so I really started to feel comfortable a couple games into starting. But you still learn things each and every week, and I feel like we get better each and every week.
Crash course to learn under fire hard?
Yeah, it's tough when you get thrown in there, but it's there's no experience like playing. That's the best way to learn how to play the game is actually taking live reps. So.
I had a question for JJ. The patience to fight through all the injuries. You never gave up. How hard was it?
It was pretty tough, but I had a great family support and my teammates and the coaching staff as well as the medical staff downstairs. So without them, it really wasn't possible.
Did you think you'd get to this point with all the setbacks you had?
Well, of course. This is what I do, so this is all I wanted to do, and it was pretty easy getting there.
JJ, you guys have had to really adjust on defense this camp with the linebacking situation, the new safeties. How do you think the defense is coming along? What are we going to see Saturday?
We're coming along. We're learning as we go. So we got a lot of new guys in the secondary as well as the linebacking staff, as you said. But it's nothing like, back to what Quinn was saying, it's nothing like live reps. And, when those lights are on at Qualcomm, we're going to have to put on a show and play at our best.
Do you feel like the people who have had to adjust on defense are doing that at this point well enough?
Oh, yes. They don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We have to perform, and we are expected to perform at a certain level. So,
what are you seeing from the different scheme that you guys are having to run with the linebackers from a corner and DB standpoint?
It's still the same. Nope. As a DB standpoint, it's still the same. We're going to man up when we need to, and we're going to bring the heat when we need to, and whatever's expected of us on that play, we have to perform.
Ezell, what have you seen from Quinn this off-season? I know you guys did a lot of work together in the off-season part. What have you seen from Quinn up to this point since he's taken over?
I would say his knowledge with offense has improved tremendously. Him knowing where everyone's going to be, when we're supposed to be there, just knowing what everyone's supposed to do. Coming off the surgery, his arm is a lot better. It's a lot more confidence with him back there. And, everybody trusts him to make plays, So it's exciting to have him, feeling this way. You could tell that, he's progressed since the last season.
How much work have you had to do with the young receivers?
Not much. Our young receivers, they're really smart. There are times where they come and ask me, what should I have done here or there, and I'll let them know. But for the most part, like they said, there's nothing like taking the reps yourself and going out there and doing it. And they got thrown out there, and they made plays. Some made more plays than others, but I'm happy with where they're standing right now.
How big a loss is it that Sud is not going to be able to play this season? And when did you guys, find out Stan Sudbury?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You said who?
Maybe after the first week, as soon as we found out, it's going to be a loss because he had a lot of experience with special teams, and he didn't get too many reps as an actual safety, but just being on the field, he had a little bit more experience than the other safeties did, so he will be missed.
How's he taking the whole thing? The fact that he's not going to be able to play and he's dealing with the concussion still? Yeah,
he's mature, so, he knew this is what he had to do, and, of course, the kid loved ball, so deep down inside, I know it hurts him, but he still walks around with a smile on his face and his head up high.
Is he still around, locker room, things like that?
No, we haven't seen him.
Quinn, Rogers talked about NA's defense and how they're kind of an unknown because they lost a lot of guys. They're bringing in a lot of transfers. I don't know if that affects how much film you have on them, but same defensive coordinators, so you kind of have an idea of what they're going to do. What sticks out about them when you scout them up, and what do you have to be kind of prepared for on Saturday?
The first thing we noticed is they had 8 defensive touchdowns last year, So they do a really good job getting turnovers and then, converting that into points just as a defense. And so they do a good job, and they play a lot of man coverage and put pressure on the quarterback. They rush well. And they're a solid defense. So we got to be prepared. It's always hard with the first game because all the new players, you don't have film on them, but right now we're preparing like they're going to, come out with the same stuff last year. And then, we got to see as the game goes on, we have to make good adjustments depending on what they're doing and kind of the personnel as well on, who may be, the stronger corner or what the safety likes to do or things like that.
And how's it feel for you heading into the season, knowing who your offensive line, the first team unit is going to be like? Because they're pretty much set on those 5 guys. What do you think of the group overall, and how confident are you in them?
They've done a tremendous job in camp. They've protected much better than last year. I think part of that comes with experience and who to target defensively, who they're blocking, so they know quicker. And they're a bunch of big guys and they block well. Their technique is really good, so I expect them to surprise a lot of people this year.
Ezell, as young as everybody is at wide receiver except yourself, what's the challenge going to be like? Because they're going to defend you more than they're going to defend anybody. And have you grown to be able to handle that?
Yeah, I think I'll be all right. Eric Judge will be on the other side, and he has a little playing experience, so we're looking for him to make plays when he gets the opportunity as well, so that they can lay off me. But the goal is just go in there, just play, let the game come to me, let Coach Toledo handle everything, and just have fun.
Where have you made the biggest jump as a receiver from a year ago this week?
I would say my understanding with reading defenses and running my routes. That would be the biggest thing.
Do you feel like you guys have prepared for this first game any differently than last year? Rocky put a lot of the onus on the coaches last year for the bad first game. I feel like you guys they didn't prepare you as well as they could have. How does it feel going into this first game?
I wouldn't say that it was all the coach's fault, but there were times last year where the team kind of fell apart in camp, wasn't focused. But this year, I think with the senior leadership that we have, we did a good job holding the team together, keeping the spirits high, keeping everybody excited and ready to go. So I think this year there'll be a different team, different outcomes, first game. So I think we're ready.
Pretty shocking last year what happened?
Yeah, it was shocking, but Eastern Illinois was a good team. I think they finished first in their division. So I'm not even trying to downplay them, but they were a great team as well. But we should have still came out, and played better than what we did. And we're not taking NAU lightly, but we're gonna come out and play Aztec football.
Do you talk to the younger guys at all, the guys who might not have been here for that game last year?
Yeah, we talked to him and told him, we don't want to come out again and lose the game one of the first game. I think that's like 2 years in a row we lost our opening games. So just keeping everybody going, keeping everybody ready, and I think where we are now compared to where we are last year, I think we're way ahead, as a team. Coach has done a great job, as well, keeping everybody going, and like I said, I think the seniors has done a great job as well too.
Hey, Quinn, last year, when you had to play, was it like going 150 miles an hour for you? Was it hard? And then secondly, what's it like to be around offensive whiz minds like Toledo and Sipe?
Well, the first question is, the game speed is much faster than anything you see, whether it's junior college or high school. Even practice, when you get in games, the speed is just a lot faster. And it was obviously tough going in at Ohio State because at that level, those guys, they break on things quick. But like you said, it helped to have Coach Toledo and Coach Sipe. They have so much knowledge, both playing the position and coaching it for a long time now. They've kind of seen it all. So I feel like if I just absorb half of what they give, I'll be successful.
Is there some intangible with those guys, what they bring to you, aside from X's and O's and on whiteboards and diagrams and all that?
Yeah, both of them give you a little bit extra, just in terms of kind of your attitude and approach to playing the position. You know, different down and distances. You know, really trying to figure out what the objective of each situation is, whether it's, you know, a 2nd and long, whether we want to gain half of it back and then get into manageable 3rd down. You know, when we're trying to take shots, when we're just trying to make 1st downs to move the ball. So little things in playing quarterback, they have a ton of, I guess, wisdom that they can give to us.
Thank you.
You guys have been doing a bunch. You're talking about, you know, scenarios and whatnot that you're gonna be put in. You guys do a lot of red zone kind of situations in practice. That was kind of not a concern last year, but you know, it was an issue that Rocky wasn't really happy with. Do you feel like that you guys have made strides, and what's been the biggest difference compared to how you approached the red zone this year compared to last year?
Yeah, well, we do certain situations in practice, whether it's 3rd down or red zone type stuff. And in terms of red zone is, you know, first and foremost, you can't turn the ball over when you're in the red zone and take away from points. As a quarterback, you can't get sacked to lose yardage, to take yourself out of field goal position. But we really need to execute better in the red zone. Last year, we didn't do a good job, and a lot of that was on me. You know, I guess I probably tried to, you know, hit the touchdown throw in the end zone rather than checking it down a little bit more, and getting some of the underneath routes and letting these playmakers run with the ball.
And JJ, as for NAU's quarterback, he's kind of young. I think last year was his first year. Played like 11 games. What stands out about him, and what do you guys got to expect on him?
He's good. He's got experience coming back this 2nd year, and he's got a pretty good receiver and 2 good tight ends. So I think that's going to help him out a lot, but he's a pretty good player.